All right. Hey, good morning. Yeah, I don't know what. I'll have to check that. It says it's inactive. I don't know. Murphy's Law, things can happen. We'll figure it out. It's all good. So, it is another amazing day and another amazing weekend. It is a Saturday. My question to you today is, what business are you in? That's the question. What business are you in? Let's see. Did it microphone? Silka said she's having a hard time hearing me. Can anybody else? Do I seem like I'm awfully low volume? Could be tech. Okay, cool. Very cool. So my question to you is, what business are you in? And I'd love for you to respond verbally, because I'm going to ask you the three questions. What business are you in? What business are you really in? And what business do you need to be in 6 months? And if you're not working on those answers, that's what today's for. And if you don't know what those answers are and you haven't worked on them before, then today'd be a good day to work on that.
Okay, here, I'll respond. I can barely hear you. I don't know what the deal is. And I have to have you on my phone, not my lappy, because yes, the link didn't work. So I'm in the relationship business.
Okay. What business are you really in?
Well, people's business.
What business do you need to be in 6 months?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe a larger relationship business.
So if that's the case, if you're in the relationship business,
can you speak up a little bit? I don't know why I cannot.
I'm talking as loud as I can right now.
Wow, this is so weird. I don't know.
That's Murphy's Law. If it can, if there's an
And I have
opportunity.
this very loud. I have you like on the top. Okay, well, okay. I will hold you to my ear.
Okay, awesome.
I love you. You're the cutest thing this early in the morning. Look at you.
So the key is to understand is it's important to understand the business we're in. It's really important to understand the business we're really in, because most people say they're a title. I'm a distributor. I'm a president. I sell widgets. I do this. Then you ask them, what business are you really in? They kind of, Where most people fail is they never ask the third question. And if they do, then the challenge is they're not working on the skills to get to that spot. Wayne Gretzky, the famous hockey player, everybody uses his quote. Why were you so successful? Because he said, I skated to where the puck was going to be. Because that's something, that momentum was always going, and he had to skate to where the puck's going to be. If your business is building momentum, you've got to skate, move your butt to where your business is going to be, so you're ready for the success. Most people in network marketing live on the roller coaster ride of income. I'm doing good, my business fails. I'm doing good, my business fails. I rebuild, my business fails. And the reason is because they're never preparing to become a leader. They're never preparing to become a trainer, an enrolling trainer. They're never prepared to teach the basics. And so that's the challenge in typical business, is that very few people are prepared for their success. When you go to open a business, launch a business, a restaurant, you have inventory, you have phones, you've got air, whatever, all of the things necessary to open. How many times have you seen at special events or Labor Day weekend events where people run out of inventory because they didn't prepare, they didn't know it was going to be such volume?
Yeah, that happened very recently somewhere. I don't remember where I was. And they said, oh, we all out. And I'm like, well, why didn't they prepare? Didn't they know this was a special event that they would? Yeah, and I don't remember where it was, but I found it very annoying.
So take that example and translate it to somebody who joins you in business. and then they advance and you don't know what to do with them. Not you, editorially, everybody. And that's where the biggest problem is that's why people feel guilty about enrolling somebody, because if I enroll them, I don't know what to do with them after I enroll them.
Well, I never feel guilty about enrolling someone. I think I I don't know. I think most network marketing companies, since they are set up for success. So people can move up. They just have to do the work. So that's
Well, they're set up for failure. And
I don't see that so.
I know, but let me give you the statistics. If I gave you numbers, would that
no, I mean, I believe they are not set up for
they
failure.
are.
It's the people that join.
Nope.
It's the people that
No,
join
you can't
that
say
are
that.
just simply lazy.
That's like saying the hospital is set up to make people sick.
Some just that happens.
So some network marketing companies are set up to make people. How could you listen carefully? How could you start a company if the industry statistic is 80% of the people never get a check? How could you start a company and be okay with that and do the same thing? Why wouldn't everybody be flocking to your company if you created the new widget? Nobody's created the new widget. Nobody's created the new widget.
But that's, I mean, yes, we're looking at that, but that's the same thing in the entire society, at least in this country.
So why not start your business?
The people on the bottom that not making any money and living on the street. So why is the entire society set up like that? We can ask.
Because 100%, because nobody's willing to step up and make a difference. And even those who do step up are attacked. And then because everybody owns their identity, the social programming, the mental toughness, the self-talk that has been programmed into everyone is so strong that they say they want more and they're not willing to do it.
You know, this is very interesting, and I just want to share what I learned in
Peru?
In Peru, yes. I wanted to say Cusco because Cusco specifically,
right.
But I think it applies to all the Inca. This applies specifically to the Incas. Mm-hmm. So the Incas all had to work. If there were Incas that did not want to work, they were killed. So I mean,
not a bad policy.
That's huge. I mean, I'm like, wow, maybe they could try that in US because it's interesting. These are third world countries, right? But we don't see, and again, it's something I look for because we have it so dramatically here. There are no homeless people laying around on the streets. There's many people walking, but they're all selling things. They all want to make money in some way, shape, or form. They're very creative. They have all kinds of things. They carry around the little alpacas to take photo to make money. They have a little bucket with I don't know, some things they sell for food. I mean, all kinds of things. And they walk the streets all day long. And here we have people laying on the streets, not doing a damn thing. Right. I mean, just look at the mindset. It's mind blowing. So we're looking at third world countries building in the network marketing space to get back to this. These people work. Seriously, our South American people work because, hey, you know what? I can make money here. Why wouldn't I work? I put into it work. People in this country, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me.
So here's the thing. If the condition is consistent, there's always the 80-20 rule, right? And the 80-20 rule is that 20% of the people, 20% of the things produce 80% of the results, and 80% produce 20% of the results. That's just the Pareto principle. You can do that across any particular industry, market, country, you name it. So if that's the case, then the business I'm in is finding the 20%ers. The business I'm really in is finding the 20 percenters inside that 20%, right? Because even in the 20% market, if we'd have 100 people and there's 20 people that are going to go do it, in that 20 people, there's an 80-20 rule. 80% are not going to be as strong as the top 20%. So my goal is to constantly be clarifying, qualifying, and creating expectation to find those people who really want to raise their hand. So what business do I need to be in 6 months? How do I teach somebody to find the top 5%?
The sorting business.
Yeah, exactly.
That just popped in my mind the way you were speaking.
Right. So
yes.
That's the business you're in. And so imagine if you sat down with somebody and somebody said to you, Silke, what business are you in? You know, I get asked that a lot. I'm in the sorting business. I get paid to sort out and find those people who truly want more. And the ones who don't, I allow them to enjoy their current place in life.
Yes. I mean, but there's many people that think they want more, but then when they get started, they suddenly say, oh, I don't know, that I can follow. I mean, that's always what blows my mind. People tell me that they don't know that they can follow up with everyone that was interested. I mean, how crazy is that?
Well, it's not crazy at all. And the reason is because that would change their identity, wouldn't it? This is an identity crisis situation. And if somebody follows up, I would ask them, hey, if you followed up, what would happen? You know what the funny thing is people will literally say, they might say yes. See, they think when they follow up, they don't know what to do. That's as a vice president of sales, when I was in charge of a network marketing company, a $200 million network marketing company, I was on the corporate side. One of the first things I asked the marketing team, because they were in charge of sales. I said, when somebody says yes, what's the next step? Well, they get their package. That's why we're failing. What do you mean? I said, it takes 5 days to ship a package on average from the time we get their order to the time they get their package. You're saying they got 5 days of confusion, chaos, and what's the cancel rate in those 5 days? Like, we don't even know. I'm like, how could you not know? You're a $200 million publicly traded company. How do you not know these numbers? I'm a farm boy from Ohio with a high school education. Well,
I think your farm boy from Ohio actually learned some work ethic in the farm.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are lacking that. So
when you look at this, so the key is the process that should be in place, that could be in place, that would serve the people in places. What business are you in? I'm in the business of helping people who want more have more.
Oh, I like that. Let me write that down.
I'm in the business of helping people who want more have more. What business are you really in? Those who think they don't deserve it, learn how to deserve it.
Okay, I'm in the business of helping people
have more.
That want more, have more?
That want more to have more.
More. Okay. Because otherwise I forget exactly the wording, and your wording is always so, I mean, so excellent. Excellent is not even, it doesn't even cover it, literally.
Well, literally, the correct word, and it may not sound like it, it's simple. And Einstein said everything should be as simple as possible.
Yes, and I totally agree with you, because that's exactly what I do with my German. I make it simple, because people say, oh, the grammar is so difficult. No, let's make it simple. We start with the building blocks. Well, it's the same thing here with the network marketing. You 100%. Reach out. If somebody says, I'm interested, you send them the video, okay? Then you have to, most people will not get back with you after watching a video, if they even watch it. Some people just say, send me the video to get you out of their inbox.
Right, but so here's the thing. Here's how I would advance that. When somebody says, I'm interested, My question is interested in what? I'm always clarifying. That's the challenge, is that we think they know what they want. We think we know what they think they want. And we get excited because we think what they want is what we got. And that ain't it. They don't want what we have. They want a feeling they want. Our job is to transmute, to convert that feeling into the physical reality called our business, whatever our business is. Nobody wants to be healthy. Are you kidding me? 60% of the population is overweight. I can promise you, maybe 5% would say, I want to be fat.
But only in this country. Why?
Oh, no. I know that, but I'm talking about here. But if I ask the 60% who are morbidly obese by doctor standards, do you want to be fat? Maybe 2%, 3%, 5%. I'm going to go way out on the edge. 5% would say, I really enjoy being fat. Okay, great. The other hundreds of thousands of people do not want to be fat. So if they don't want to be fat, the information is out there. You can Google how to not be fat. It's these people who are 400 or 500 pounds who start walking and can barely, they're doing a lifting thing and you can feel their pain and they're sweating. And 2 years later, they're having medical surgery to remove all of the skin that was extra. And you're like, oh my God, you champion, you rock star. They got healthy. Nobody is limited to success. Nobody is told you can't have your success. You can't have more of what you want. Nobody is limited by today's technology or information. The reason is the programming. So we, as entrepreneurial spirits, as actually artists, because we love what we do and we want to be hands-on in the painting of what we do, the business we're in is helping people who are kind of peeking around the corner. They're kind of looking around the corner at what we do and saying, that seems like that could work for me. We think they said, I'm all in, baby. We've got to clarify. What do you think would work for you? What's got you excited about learning more about this? If we don't activate that little flame inside of them that lit up when they reached out, because it's public speaking, we have to understand that people would rather die in a firing car crash than publicly speak. And when they say, I'm interested, they think it's like them going on a bullhorn on I'm interested in the business. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. That's what their brain is thinking they're saying. When all they did was drop a DM or a want or a number one in a chat. They're afraid to drop a number one in the chat. If you're interested, drop a one. If you're live, drop a one. If you're following the replay, drop a two. People won't even drop a replay two when nobody's
and I find that really annoying. A lot of people do that. Why do people do that? I find that most annoying.
Do what? To say that?
When people say, oh, if you're live, drop a
Yeah,
one.
well,
if you're on the replay, drop a two. I find that.
Well, you can find it, but
I find that the most annoying thing. Why? Who cares?
Well, the reason they care is because they can follow up with them. They're clarifying the people who showed up. Hey, you watched the replay.
Right,
you drop a two.
It's annoying for
it's
people.
It's annoying for you.
It,
Nobody cares if it's annoying to you. They don't care if it annoys you. Here's to understand the leverage of it. The reason they do a one is they can go back and follow up. They're clarifying. If somebody drops a one, they're live on the thing. They want some recognition. So they get recognized. Hey, thanks for dropping in the live. And so the response that typically comes back, not sure if you were cheerleading me or you were interested, here's the link. And people have grown their customer base by on average 18 to 22% by doing that, simply because they knew who showed up and they responded and recognized them. Hey, thanks for showing up on the live. And it's a copy and paste. Doesn't say their name. So then when it's a two, they can go back. The creator of the content gets notified somebody just dropped a two in this chat. They go back and send them, hey, listen, thanks for watching the replay. They got another copy.
Yeah, I know, but I find it annoying.
Well, you can find it annoying. That nobody cares if Silka.
And I don't do it.
Well,
I never do it.
But that's silly to not do it. All of the top leaders do it. So if you don't do it, you're like, well, that's cutting off your nose to spite your face. Well, I'm not going to do it. It works. Well, I don't care. I don't want to do it. Okay. Then struggle.
Because you can see who is on there. I mean,
No, you can't. Not if you're focused on the content. It's just a thing. It's all it is a marketing tool. And if you were my student, I would say, well, then you want to struggle. Awesome. Well, I'm not going to do that. Why would you let ego get in the way of your business?
no, I find it annoying. So I
Well, that's
figured
okay, but why?
it
Why
has
do you
nothing
find
to do with ego. It has to do with if
absolutely?
I find it
Abs-
annoying, I'm sure
100%.
90% of people find it annoying.
No, they don't. No, they don't. All of the people who are dropping ones and twos do not find it annoying.
Well, I think they're just like a sheep. They do, you know,
You can think
whatever
what you
they've
want,
been
Silke.
told.
You can look at the people who are asking that, look at their business, look at your business, look at somebody whose business who doesn't use the tools that know how to move people, right? So the business you're in is relationships. I wouldn't ask them to drop a 1 or a 2. So you're not in the relationship business. You don't want to follow up with people. You don't want.
No,
people to
I do
engage.
want to. I'm not the one who doesn't follow up.
Well, then give them a reason to give them a
There's
reason.
other
to
people
engage.
that don't like to follow up.
Give them a reason to engage. Would you like to have more people to follow up with? Effortlessly and easily. Would you like to easily have more people follow up with you? I mean, have more people to follow up with without any extra effort on your part.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, of course, you always like more people.
Okay, so then why not in your posts ask, drop a T in the chat if travel is in your future? Why not? Why not?
Well, that's different than.
What? No, it's not. It's not. It's the same church, different pew. You're asking the people to engage with you. There's not. Why is that less threatening or less aggravating than drop
because
a 1 for
I
live?
think because everybody does it. Everybody and their brother that gets on a live. Oh, drop a 1 if
So
you like.
why do you think
and
why do you
drop
think
a 2
everybody
in the
does it?
replay. I mean, it's like.
Why do you think they do it? Because it doesn't work, or because it works?
I have no idea whether it
I'll
works or
ask
not
you.
for
You're a
them,
smart
but or
person.
what they do with it. But
Are you a
it's
smart
annoying.
person?
They just do it because everybody else told them to do it, I guess.
Do you think they but do you think they do it because it works or doesn't work?
Well, I don't know. I've never asked someone that.
Would you like to know why they do it?
Yeah, you were just telling me.
Because it works. It works. People want to be a part of something. Oh, yeah, I'm on the live. And those who watch the replay. So would you say Amway is a big company?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So here's what Amway did. You know how Amway continues to grow and continues to inspire their leaders? Is after the Super Saturday, they say, okay, for anyone who is a level 1 and above, we're going to have the meeting now. If you're not level 1 or above, you're going to have to leave the room. All of those people who just started went, but I can't be in the room. I'll be in that room next time. And they force them by fear of missing out to get to level 1. 20 minutes in, they go, everyone level 1 needs to leave the room now. And level 1s are kicked out and level 2s and above. And they keep doing that for the next 2 hours. And what it forces is people to say, I want to be in that room. I need to be in that room. So when you say, hey, if you're live, drop a 1. Ooh, I'm live. I made it. Because they dropped a 2 in somebody's chat previously, and they wanted to have the recognition of the 1 and not the 2. Oh, well, that's just crazy. Crazy in nature. That's how basic, fundamentally programmed we are. It is easy to be manipulated. And that's why if you use it for not good, you can do some really bad things in the world. Network marketing is a tremendous, powerful manipulation program. Manipulating people to have more of what they want, but most people don't feel manipulated because of the language and the skills that they're taught. Hey, would you like more money? That's manipulation. It's a powerful question. It's still manipulation because we're telling them, we're forcing them into a negative state. Hey, drop a 1 if you're live, drop a 2 if you're watching the replay. There's total manipulation there, but there's no making them feel bad. The number 2s are going to say, well, I'm not going to miss this one. I'm going to follow them or whatever, because they want the recognition of being in the unique group. That's the psychology behind it. Whether you like it or not, listen, there's things that I don't like, but I do because I know that's what produces success in human nature.
So when they say that, I mean, I never drop a one or two. Never mind
Wouldn't
when I'm,
surprise me in the least. You wouldn't participate in that. You don't want to participate in that. I get it.
because I don't like it.
But but that's you. There's many boats for you to float in. Get it. Got it. But to not use something, you don't have to participate. But I can tell you, if you're not allowing others to participate in it simply because you don't like it, what's a meal, what's a food you don't necessarily like to eat? If somebody sat it down in front of you, be like, I didn't order that. I don't like that at all. What would that be?
Celery.
So if you go to a restaurant and they have celery in the restaurant, do you not eat in the restaurant?
I don't eat the dishes that has it in there.
That's all I'm asking you to do is you don't have to eat the celery called drop 1 or 2, but let other people who love celery show up to your restaurant called Silka Carpenter's Travel Amazing Experience and eat the frickin' celery. You're not even letting people who love celery not eat it.
You're right. You're right. What do
I'm
you
saying,
say?
I get it. I get that it aggravates you. Listen, you know what aggravates me is people who say, well, I already know that. I know that. That aggravates me to all high heaven and back, because the second you say, I already know that, your subconscious says, well, we don't need to learn anything anymore. And
but I didn't say that.
I didn't say you said that. I said, I'm telling you I'm telling you my celery.
I see. I got it.
So if somebody said, I already know that, and that was the key for me to never talk to that person again, thank God the sheep don't communicate in English, because that'd be the only people I would talk to. Or when somebody says, I don't know, sends me up a wall. Used to really change my emotion. Now I know when I hear somebody say, I don't know, I know I'm right on the edge of helping them break through and break free. Because if they did know, their life would change. So I said, everybody says, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I can't be upset with that. That's my signal. That's the bullhorn and the fireworks and the alarms going off saying, Sean, here is your chance to bring tremendous value. And it changed the way I looked at, I don't know. How the hell could you not know? You're a grown adult. What are you, stupid? You don't know. Of course you know. You're afraid to know, because if you did, right, I used to get very aggressive when somebody would say, I don't know. They literally disengaged from my life. Now when somebody says, I don't know, I go, yeah, I bet you do know. What if we change that to, I'm curious to find the solution? And now I'm starting to bring tremendous value. It's like punching me in the gut when you go, I don't know. Of course you know. Don't be silly. But that doesn't make them, that pushes them farther below the line. Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm a loser. And all of the stories of, but my mom said I'd never know and I'd never amount to, all because I said, of course you know. Now I offer you, hey, but if you did know, well, because if they did know, that the knowing from that, the I don't know is the past, and that's a safe place. That's the certainty. I'm curious to learn is the future, the unknown. I don't know what's out there. The potential is totally possible. If I did know, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do something different. My whole life would change. I'm going to go crawl under the covers. That's literally every one of us, me at the top of the list. It's why I had to start myself saying, wow, I'm curious to find the answer to that one. If you walked around with a tape measure to see how long I say that, if you walked around with a tape recorder and you could play it and you could record in my head, that I'm curious to see the solution to this. 2 or 3 times an hour versus I don't know. That simple change is $1 million change in your life, especially if you work with people. Because now all of a sudden your confidence shifts. You still don't have a freaking clue. You're walking blind in the dark. There's a confidence that says, I want to be around you because I don't know what you're doing. You seem like you know where you're going. I'm walking in the dark. Yeah, but you still seem to have this, where in the dark you're walking, and I want to be safe by you. That's the frequency. That's the signal. And so when you simply change, when you eliminate, I do not know, you are locking the tomb of your possibility up. So so maybe some of you might be in a business like this. What business are you in? I help those who don't know find a solution. What does that mean? Well, the business I'm really in is, you know how people don't know how to have more of what they want? Yeah, I help them find more and what they want. What business do I need to be in? I'm in the business of teaching you how to teach others how to find more of what they want and explode your success.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use the 1 and 2 then.
Try it. And hey, listen,
you sold me on it.
So here's the thing, Silke. When you start it, and you always get to use this, listen, so that until it shifts in your body, there's a vibration of doing the 1 and 2, because A, it works, you still don't like it. Say this. You can say it in your life. Hey, listen, this drives me nuts. So if it drives you nuts, my apologies. It drives me nuts when I hear this. And here's what it is. If you're watching this live, drop a 1. And if you're watching the replay, drop a 2. That makes me just want to go,
cringe.
Yeah. But say that. Don't not say it, because your signal is going to be cringing. I promise you, no matter what you think. Okay. Drop a 1 in the line. It's your cringing is going to come across. So tell them I'm going to cringe when I say this, because it aggravates me. What I learned is that there's some people who want to be, who are looking to be a part of this conversation. And drop a 1 in the chat if you're live, or a 2 if you're watching the replay.
But I was thinking that I would just have my business partner do it.
Oh,
maybe he likes it.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, you could still say it, because the next thing out of your mouth when your business partner says, and now Silke, I don't care if it's 15 minutes into the conversation, that cringe of 1 and 2 is still going to be there. I promise you. This is the power of signal. And say, hey, listen, and if you see people dropping 1s and 2s, saying, hey, listen, thanks for dropping the 1s and 2s, that always seems to aggravate it. It always seems to have aggravated me when people would ask me to do that. I don't know if I'm still comfortable. I want to thank you for doing it, because they're like, oh, wow, we can do something Silke can't. This is going on in their subconscious. They're like, wow, if she's successful and I'm doing something she can't, I could be as successful or more than her. That's literally at a nonverbal speed of thought process going on in their brain. When you give people the recognition that they can do something you can't, they see you and say, well, if I can do something she can't, I can have what she has or more. We understand that at a subliminal, at a subconscious level. So if he does that, say, the next time you speak, before you open up, because it's going to come across in your signal, say, hey, listen, I'm watching the 1s and 2s, the 1s. I haven't seen the 2s yet, but I'm watching the 1s. Thanks for doing that. That just always got under my skin. Maybe that happens for some of you, and you'll be surprised. Some people may say that as well. And they're like, holy crap, Silke's like me. I don't like doing that, but I do it because I'm on the call and they say drop a 1, and I don't want to feel like I promise you're going to be amazed at the responses you get when you go, I'm still not 100% confident in doing that, but I'm glad we did it. Thanks for the 1s. And then go on with your conversation.
That's a good point.
You'll be blown away by the feedback that you get. People go, I know, it drives me crazy too. And now you've got your niche. Now you've got your stable of people who are like, oh, wow. Okay. So if she didn't like it and we still do it, it's okay. But she recognized me for how it makes me feel uncomfortable. And there'll be other people going, I love to do it, or whatever. But it's not for them. It's for you, so that the next words out of your mouth ring true.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's how important signal is. We got to admit where we're at. Brene Brown says your vulnerability gives us courage. We can tell the most god-awful thing that we would think people would absolutely ridicule us for, and they'll people be in tears going, oh my gosh, you inspired me so much with your story. And you think it's so embarrassing. When I taught this one woman out of Panama, and she told her story for the first time in front of 400 people after 30 years. She had told a certain group, she had come out with the story and told it here on the Daily Awakening. And then she said, what should I talk about? I said, you can't talk about anything until you tell your story. She said, but I don't want anybody to know that. I go, that's why nobody's following you. You're an amazing soul. And she started out with her accolades, and they gave her recognition and everything else. And she said, I was taught, I asked my mentor what I should talk about. And he said, I should tell you my story. Is it okay if I tell my story? And everybody's like, yeah. I would wake up in the morning at the age of 4 until the age of 14. Every morning I would wake up, I was raped by my father. And when I would come home from school, I was raped by my stepfather. You could just literally feel the audience explode with connection. And she went on and told her story for about 5 minutes, and then did her training, and her business quadrupled in the next 60 days. And she had a big business, but it quadrupled, and she didn't do one thing extra. She finally got this thing out of her, and people.
But do you think why do you think her business quadrupled? Because people felt sorry for her?
No, nobody in the room could join her business. She didn't tell the story again. She never tells the story unless she's on stage. In her prospecting, she never told the story. The people in the room it was a Super Saturday weekend. It was a national event for a company. It was a 3-day weekend. Nobody in the group could join her business. The reason her business quadrupled is because her signal changed, and her team felt it. They would come back and, wow, the event was something. If you were not in that room, you didn't know the story she told. She didn't tell any of the rest of her team the story, but she finally came out and released the story, released that signal. Hardly ever to be told again. She's told it a few more times. People have asked her to come on to calls and tell it. But she never told that story again out loud to her. She didn't, hey, listen, I was raped for 10 years by my father. That wasn't the way she started her presentations. I said, it has to be that way now for you to take your business to the next level. And her business quadrupled in 68 days. We counted the numbers.
Why? I still don't. Well, if she didn't keep telling the story, then I still don't understand why.
Because she needed to get it out. Because she was so embarrassed by it. It happened 20 years ago, and she had buried it so deep. She's like, if somebody knows that, nobody's going to love me. That was her story. The reason she became so good in school is so that A, she could study, but B, she would memorize books to try to get rid of the memories of the stories of her dad and her stepdad. So when she finally told the story and came out with it, there was a release, and everybody
it no longer held the power it had.
Exactly. And when we give up the thing that's got power over us, the things we're like, well, I would never do that. That has power over you, because you have to avoid any situation where you could ever do that. And anything you won't do or never do, it has power over you. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but to say, I would never do that, or that's crazy, that has power over you. It's much like when we talk to a prospect and we say, you got to talk to people. Well, I'm not a good salesperson. That has power over them. Absolute. Anything that you can't do has power over you. Didn't say you got to do it well. Didn't say you got to do it perfect. Anything you say, well, I would never do that. I tried fish once. I didn't like it. Well, I'll never eat fish again. I can promise you, if my family, I love fish, by the way, but if my family was being held captive and they said the only way you're getting them back alive is to eat fish, no, sorry, you got to take them. Right? We all have these moments, these thresholds where we'll do anything.
Yeah.
The challenge is that when we have a typical conversation that is a business prospecting conversation, we are activating in them their protection levers, objections, in such a way that they can never hear the possibility of change. Yours is the biggest challenge, meaning people love to travel, but they think it's too expensive. I don't have time. They go on social media. They don't see somebody going to their grandmother's funeral and saving money. They don't see that till they need it. But they see these luxury travels going to Dubai or to the south of France or to the Eiffel Tower. Nobody's posting they went to their sister's birthday at a discount and stayed in a hotel for 40% off.
Well, there may be some people, very few. So
there are a few, but my point is that when you're talking to the average Joe who doesn't understand the value of travel, who doesn't understand the undeniable return on investment from the experience of travel. I remember I used to love when you used to have to go through customs lines. I loved it. Standing in the line, listening to the people. You could feel the people who were back home. You could feel the people who were visitors, right? Because the in-country went to a different line, and you could just feel their pride of like, I don't have to stand in the line with all those losers, right? And all of us foreigners, right? And then when we get to America, all the foreigners are standing in the huge queue, and we're just going zippity, 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 zip. So when you travel internationally, you get to experience what it feels like to be a foreigner. Most people have no idea what it means like to be a foreigner in the States, because less than 5% travel outside of the state. You go to Canada, it's a different place. Beautiful place, but different. Mexico, beautiful place, different. So my point is that what business are you in? I'm in the business of helping people who want more, have more. Ooh, how do you do that? Very well. Well, I will literally, when I have this conversation, people are like, how do you get people to tell you so much? Because I control the conversation with love and honor. So I listen, ask me what I do. And somebody will go, oh, okay, what do you do? I go, I love that question. And their brains kind of laugh and going, well, you just told me to ask you that, jackass. I know I did. So I love that. Thanks for asking that question. I really make it because I want them to throw away, right? I use novelty. I want them to throw away everything that they were going to use as a protection lever. I want them to feel so open and safe. Hey, do me a favor. Ask me what I do. I'm like, what do you do? I love that question. Thanks for asking. And you can literally see their mind saying, you just told me to ask you that. And so what I might do is I'll say, you know how when people ask you, what do you do? Most people don't have an answer. They got a title or they got a phrase or they got an occupation. Yeah, because they're thinking in their head, well, he's going to ask me, what do I do? And I'm an employee. I work at the city. I do this. I'm a nurse. What I say when people ask me, what do I do? I ask people who are seriously interested in having an incredible future more than they're willing to work on their past. People who get stuck in their past. You know how sometimes people get stuck in their past? They're stuck in their past. We're all stuck in our past. 99% of the people you're going to talk to are stuck in their past. So these are pretty safe conversations, but they think, oh my God, you're talking to me. Those people who feel stuck in their past and want a better future, I help those people have it. How do you do that? Very well. Why do I ask? Hey, ask me what business I'm really in. Ask me what business I'm really. And I say that I'm doing these motions. What business are you really in? Do you know how when people realize that there's a better future, they were wishing somebody could make it easier for them to have it? Yeah, that's what I do. That's the business I'm really in. Well, I want some of that. Great. How would you like to get started? Nobody right? That phrase, nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. Most people don't want to have a dialogue. They have two monologues that bump into each other. So the business I'm in is getting people to speak about their dreams. The business I'm really in is creating a business for people to live their dreams. What business do I need to be in 6 months? When they're living their dreams, I need to keep them from cannibalizing or sabotaging themselves. Because most people, if you talk to them who have gained success, usually their biggest reason why they don't continue it is self-sabotage. Tell me who on the planet am I going to talk to that's not the case? If I'm talking to them, It's 90, it's almost 100% of the people I'm going to talk to. If I'm in a mastermind of particular people, it's still about 98% of those people are still going to be self-sabotagers. You ask successful people, does self-sabotage ever happen to you? Oh, Jesus, every day. Doesn't matter how successful they are.
Well,
So
yeah, and I see that with people. I mean, the lady I connected with you yesterday
Yep.
is very good at doing that.
Yep.
And but I don't like dealing with it. So because it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I don't want to tell her that. So I send her to you because it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, and the key is that it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable because I don't really have to know what they're doing. Right? I mean, I don't have to know their solutions. I don't have to come up with their solutions. They know their next step. Everybody knows their next step. Everybody knows their next step.
So if everybody knows this, let me ask you this then. If everybody knows the next step,
Yep.
Why are they self-sabotaging?
Because if they do their next step, they would have to change their identity. That's it. That's it. And they haven't.
And they
worked
don't
on
want
it.
to change their identity because they like want to be known for the person they are right the second. So that if they add something, then their identity would be different to people, and maybe they feel like people would no longer respect them the
Yep.
way they did before. Is that maybe?
100%. Imagine this. So just imagine this. Just play along with me. Imagine today, all of a sudden, you fall in love with drop a 1, drop a 2, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love it. You now have to have the identity that you have such resistance, such energy. I hate that, right? You were vehement about 1s and 2s. I would never do that. And now all of a sudden you fall in love with it. You realize that your own self-identity has such a fracture in it over 1s and 2s that you could literally wind up with a cold. You could literally wind up, I don't know why. Every time I go to do something, I tear my clothes. You will find a way to absolutely have that frequency in your body because it left with 1s and 2s. It never leaves your body. It just goes to something else and builds up. This is why people have breakdowns. They get better here and better here, but the worst never leaves their body, and they keep pressuring it and they keep pushing it in and they keep pushing it in till it explodes in some kind of trauma, some kind of health, some kind of something. And we're like, oh, so unexpected. No, not really. You've been carrying this and shoving it down and pushing it in the box and trying to lock it. And you ever overpack and I have to sit on a suitcase? That's what happens with these old stories we have. We never let them go. We never let them go.
I always overpack.
What happens if you let go right now of, I don't like 1s and 2s, and all of a sudden you're like, they don't affect me. That would be a huge shift in your body. You can say right now because we're in the thick of it, but I promise you, the next time you watch somebody's video and they go, hey, drop a 1 in the chat, and if that feeling vibrates up, that's got power over you. My job is, that's why what I do is called personal undevelopment. I don't change your story about 1s and 2s. 1s and 2s don't bother anybody. Well, they bother me. That's because you've given them power. I chip away, help you chippy away the power 1s and 2s have over you. And if 1s and 2s have power over you, what do you think no's and nevers and maybes and possibilities have over you? What do you think somebody who gets started and then leaves has over you? What do you think somebody lying to you has over you? People are going to lie. They're just going to lie. And you got to go, well, isn't that fascinating? I've now see their pattern and I could recognize it. I know their words. Lying isn't bad. It's when we have expectation. That's what kills us, is we expect them to keep to their word. If they're not truthful, they can't keep to their word. Why are we expecting they're going to, if we became some kind of angel in their life, they're going to keep their promise? My question to people is, hey, listen, have you ever not kept a promise in the past? Yeah, kind of. Okay, great. So you're not going to keep promises with me. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm never going to change somebody's pattern. I'm going to give somebody a chance to upgrade their own pattern. The reason I used to get, I was heavy, I was 60 pounds heavier. I was, 50 pounds heavier, 260 pounds. I like ate my sheep. I didn't eat my sheep. My point is that I was so stressed because I wanted it so bad for everybody and I was doing it. And this is just recently, this is 4 years ago. I was just God, you can do it. I can do it for you. Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. Let me do it with you. Let me get there right there. And all day long, internationally, 24 hours a day, on calls, training, helping, guiding, lifting, carrying. Jim Rohn said you can carry one, maybe two. You can't carry three. And I was carrying dozens until. You want more? Great. What's that look like? I don't know. When you do, let me know. I can help you have more than you ever imagined. Why? Because you are entitled to more than you ever imagined. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. So people are going to lie. People are going to tell half truths. People are going to do ones and twos. When you get over it, my mentor would say this, well, get over it and get on with life. Well, aren't you just the biggest ray of sunshine? Listen, I only got minutes on this planet. I don't care if it's years. It's still only minutes, seconds on this planet. Why would I waste one on a one or a two, or whether they tell me what to do or not to do? Isn't that fascinating? When somebody does something that aggravates me, I'm like, why are they working? Why does that work for them? I may never use it. Why does that work for them? What is it about their personality that allows them to do something that I could never do? Do I need to do it? Will it serve me better? Am I missing out on an entire audience? Right? That's the 4 quadrants. If that just bugs the living bejeebies out of you, you've lost a whole quadrant of people who actually drop ones and twos. I'm okay. Right? Seriously.
I'm always amazed that they do that.
And so now it's like, well, you know what? I'm shocked that people will actually drop ones and twos. And what'll happen is that people will want to prove you wrong or prove that it works. So I'm curious. Maybe my audience doesn't drop ones and twos. So if you're watching this live, drop a 1. If you happen to do the replay, drop a 2. I doubt anybody will drop 1. You'll see 1, 1, 1. Well, oh my gosh. Listen, I applaud you. Hey, thanks, Sammy.
Sammy dropped a 1.
But this is how people want that recognition. They don't have to speak it out loud. I can throw a balloon out and go, "Ooh, look at me." All right. So that's the business you're in. If you're in the business of, listen, here's the funny thing. You know, it would be a really novelty statement. You know, I realized the other day, I'm in the business of ones and twos. Somebody, what the hell is that? What are you in the toilet business? Are you in the septic tank business?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm just saying that's ones, but wouldn't it be neat if they played with that? You know, in my business model, a lot of times when we go onto the internet and we do a live or a training, we'll ask people to drop 1 for the lives and 2 for the replays. I'm looking for people who want to learn more, drop a 1, or who are searching for more, drop a 2. That's the business I'm in. And what business do I need to be in 6 months? Is anybody who drops a 1 or a 2 to make sure they have the best opportunity to live their dreams. That's the business I'm in. How do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask?
And then you smile.
Always. Because when they ask how, they've gone from state, dreaming, to strategy. And strategy, if you ask how, it's because you don't know what you're doing. That's the only reason you ask how, is you do not know, or you think you don't know. So if somebody comes to me and says, I don't know, me telling them how to do it isn't the solution. It's not.
No, because they just ask again.
So my question is so I respond with, very well, why do you ask? And you watch the smoke pour out of their ears, because no one has ever asked them that question unless you've been trained by me. No one. Because I've, in all of the world-class trainings and top leaders and books, nobody has ever come up. I've never seen printed anywhere or taught anywhere when somebody says, oh, how do you do that? They go, "Ooh, now," they say, "you have an opening to explain how you do that." I'm like, I ain't got no opening, because there's a 1 in a billion chance that I'll hit the answer they're looking for, going, "Oh my God, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to sell more. I wanted to get on Do Lives. I wanted to become uncomfortable." That's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to do something I've never done. I want to ask my friends for money. I want to sell a product I don't know how to sell, I may never use. I want to go into a business where I'll never advance in rank. Awesome. I've got the perfect job for you. It's that. Yet 28 million people, 29, well, maybe the new numbers are 32 million people in the United States are that, and 90% never get a check. They never advance in rank. Are you kidding me? Why would you do this? Because people are starving for recognition, starving for connection, starving for community.
I don't care about the recognition at all. I care
Oh
about the
my
money.
gosh, yes, you do.
No,
You lie about that, you lie about other things. I love you.
I don't. I really don't. All I care about is getting the money. I can care less what rank
Well,
I
that's the
am.
recognition. You want more money, you're going to have to step into recognition. That might be a huge block for you. You're going to have to be seen. The company is going to have to recognize
Well,
you
I
when they
don't
advance
mind
your pay.
being seen, but it's not something I really need. I don't
No,
think.
it is something you really need. And when you use it for good, it's the resistance that's keeping you stuck at the level you're at. Period. End of story. This isn't me being funny now. If you don't need that, the universe is finding ways for you to not have that. Listen, you cannot be comfortable with it. You cannot make it a priority in your life. If you are wanting to increase your income, here's the phrase: are you ready for the love? People are going to have to learn. People are going to have to be let to love you.
Well, it's not that I do. Okay, let me rephrase that. Maybe you misunderstood.
I didn't
I don't.
misunderstand a thing. You said I don't need that. Okay, then you won't
Well,
get
yes, it's not like something like some people they want like they live for that. They live
Oh,
for
I
that.
get it. I get it. You don't live for that. My point is
No.
that when you push that out and say, I don't need it, I just want the money.
Yeah.
Well, the only way money comes to you is when more people know that you do what you do.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
But I was talking about the,
yeah, I think the first rule of digging a hole, once you're in one, stop.
Well, I was talking about the things that they give you on stage.
I get it.
The.
But if you resist that, you have to hey, listen, I'll donate them to
do
charity.
that. I mean,
right.
I have no problem of accepting that, but it's not something I would set out to live for. That's what I meant. Maybe.
Right, but it's okay. You have to live for it to let others recognize you and go, that's my sponsor. She's the one. I don't need that recognition. What you might do is this is a number one and a number two. You're going to have to let people love you. It's not my highest priority. Listen, I don't like being on stage. I am an introvert.
Oh, I don't mind being on stage. I have a lot to say.
Well, that's another thing. So my point is this: all of the things that you are resisting, what if you were to just let the wall down a little bit so that you didn't resist it as much and watch what flows in over the wall? That's all. That's all. I'm not saying go, oh, I really enjoy the recognition and I really want to be recognized. No, nobody's saying that. Nobody's waking up for that. But in a subconscious way, everybody is saying, when's it going to be my turn? And here's the thing: when you have a conversation with somebody and recognition isn't your thing, it's not your motivating factor, money is. I can tell you about 80% of the people you're going to talk to, money ain't the motivating factor. Look at their poverty level. Look at their current income level. Money is not the driving factor. They may tell you it is. It isn't. Recognition is the number one thing.
Yeah, they tell me they need the money.
Right.
They never say, hey, I'm signing up to become a diamond rank. Right. They say, I want the money of the diamond rank.
And what they don't realize, or what they're hoping is that if I get the money, somebody's going to recognize me. Somebody's going to say, nice job. 90% of the population, 99% of the population is wishing somebody would just say, hey, thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for being a good person. I want to recognize you. Go out of your way to, not somebody who gave you service and you say thank you, because they're so jaded by somebody's thank you. They can't even hear a good thank you when it shows up. So the business you're in relationships is I help people have a better relationship with their dreams. Do you have a dream you haven't met yet? You talk about it. They may be a neighbor, but you've never walked across the street in your mental mind to go knock on the door of your dream and say, hey, I'm your neighbor. You want to have a talk? Most people have never done that.
No, I have not done that either. Do you do that?
I do it all the time. I do it walking up to the sheep. What's happening now is because of my commitment to do 500 posts in the next, well, it's now 480 posts, 20, 20, 40, 460 posts in the next 28 days.
So how many have you done yesterday?
I did 25 yesterday. My goal is to do a minimum of 16.
You did 25 yesterday, and I only saw one.
Well, I don't know. I only do a handful on Instagram. I'm doing Truth Social, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram Live, YouTube Shorts, YouTube video, YouTube Lives. Other than this is a YouTube Live right now. Then I go back and do some YouTube Live trainings. I do some Instagram Live trainings. I do some Instagram Reels. I do Facebook Reels. I do Facebook pictures, posts, comments. Yeah. So it's different pieces of content. 25 pieces of content went up.
Wow. But yeah. So, but I mean, how does that work?
It's working great.
For you?
My YouTube. Yeah, my YouTube, let me tell you, in the last 7 days, hold on, let me get to my YouTube studio page. YouTube studio page. If I go to analytics,
because it seems like it's like,
so my watch time is up 721 hours versus 541, so 200 more hours of watch time.
Okay, and how does that then?
People are recognizing me. I'm getting my followers are growing. So let me share my page. So
how does that then relate to your profits?
It relates to my profits that more people can be in my audience to raise their hand. I have more people to talk to or who are wanting to talk to me. So if I go share, so if you look here, look at this. Here's my September, right? September. This is August 23, August 27, September 1st, when I made the commitment. Look at the shoot. Whoop, these are the views. 6,800. So I had 6,800 more views than usual. And that's all because of here. There's 1,000 views. There's 2,000 views. This is 1,800 views. So 1,800, that's 3,000, almost 4,000, 5,000 views in the last 3 days versus 69, 86. So that's how it's working. People, when they, so I know my frequency. The business I'm in is people that don't move. People are not moved by my writing, although that moves people. People are not moved by my online videos, although that moves people. They need to see me when I'm live. My perception is when I'm live and interacting with people, they get a different feeling. They get a different experience than a canned video that I'm doing reading a script. So yeah, that's 720. So 200 more hours. Let's see here. Let's do that's the last 28 days. Let's do last 7 days. So there's the last 7 days. Look at that. So here's September 1st. There's September 2nd when I made the decision, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. I haven't even posted anything on YouTube other than this right now. And it still has 1,800 views as of yesterday. What?
Wow.
And so what is that doing? That's getting more people to see me, more people to like me. I think my subscribers went up 5, but all of these people are seeing it. 3,000 views. So in the last 7 days, it's gone up 921%. I'd say that's good. Now, the key is, consistency, do I keep them there? Do I keep doing it? Do I keep driving it? Do I keep doing the conversation? Nine new subscribers. So 9 new subscribers in 3 days. If I count that out, 3 times 9, right? So if I do, that's 3 a day, that's another 30 new subscribers. I haven't had 30 subscribers because I haven't focused on it in a month. And that's just YouTube. I've had 20 subscribers on TikTok, 15 new subscribers on Instagram. So there's probably 50 new people following me. That's how my business grows. That's how that's going to convert to profits. Now, when I say, hey, because you're never a prophet in your own land, when you got new people to talk to and you say, hey, listen, I've got a program, I'm doing a challenge. Oh, I want to be a part of your challenge, versus all of you who show up and say, why do I need to be a part of a challenge? I get his morning call every morning and I still don't do anything. Say, so that's why I'm doing this, is because I can, and I want to show you how it works. I keep telling you to do it, and everybody's like, well, yeah, whatever. So here's the views in the last 48 hours. I stopped it too soon. Again, I'm not making this up, right? A lot of people will say, not advanced screens, there. So here's the last 48 hours. Here's the 234, 270. So what time is this? This doesn't tell me when it is. This is 10 to 11 Thursday. So overnight, so it doesn't do me any good to do anything in the morning. I mean, midnight and stuff. So I don't have a very European audience or a very international audience. If I say, I wonder if it tells me more. If I go content trends, shorts. So shorts were 682 views, 682 new viewers on my shorts, because people have an attention span of 6 seconds. 200 here, and live stream 10. So regular viewers 3, 1, and 11. Regular viewers. So look how many new viewers and look how many regular viewers. You need more blood. Subscribers. Let's see what's over here on subscribers. Listen, this is 3 days. I don't know what it's going to do. 4 new subscribers because of shorts, 1 because of the video, 1 because of live stream. If I'm somebody who says I need to go put my money where the return is, it's in shorts. The numbers are just right here. The numbers are shorts, right? So I've published 8 shorts and 3 live streams. So there's 11 posts. Views, 5,400 came from shorts. Listen, guess what I'm going to go do? I haven't done shorts. I didn't like shorts. I'm like, it takes me a minute to clear my voice. How am I going to give something of tremendous value in a minute? I can. I just always think I need to over deliver. Well, I need to over deliver in a minute. I can tweak that. That's not something I wanted to do. I like doing, but I'm looking at the numbers, 5,400 views versus 4,454. You ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out, well, crap, that's where all your people are. That's the content they want. Why would I want to go, well, I'm going to go do live streams and only get 1.1% view increase? That'd be stupid. That'd be ridiculous. But you know what? Somebody go, well, I don't like to do videos and I just like to do live streams. So I'll just stick there. Well, you're going to be broke. 91% of my views in the last 7 days are shorts. Why wouldn't I keep doing that? Why wouldn't I go do more of that? I'm glad I looked at this right now. Because if I didn't look at it, I wouldn't know that. Oh my gosh. 5,400 plus views.
I'm getting you so excited. You wouldn't have looked at it if it wasn't for me pushing you to look at it.
My point, exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. But how are you going to have all these conversations?
Well, listen, I'm always looking for people. Out of that, it's the 90-10. I don't know who the 10% are. Here's the thing you have to understand when you're building your business. You don't know who the 10% are who want to be in your world. So you have to give them a chance to raise their hand. Hey, listen, I'm doing a workshop call. I'm doing a morning call. Get on my email list. That's who you need to talk to. When you start to have huge numbers like this, you have to sift and sort. It's what's called a call to action. So now that I've got some traction and activity and seeing some things happen, do not ever put up a piece of content without a call to action. What's your call to action? Reach out to me. Send me a DM. Yeah. You want to have a conversation? Send me a DM that says, I want to learn more of what you do. I have a no threat, go to the nest, which isn't working because the sites down for whatever reason. But I'll say go to SeanGMurphy.com/Ness. I do not collect your email. You can go take the quiz. You can go experience the survey of what signal you are. And at the end, if you want more information, the system will send it to you. Then you'll add your email. I've had a handful of people put their go through the survey, because you got to go through the survey to get to that point to add your email. I have conversations with those people. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe you reached out. I'm like, why wouldn't I reach out? Well, you're so busy. You're an international speaker. I'm talking to Anura. And so I figured, well, I'll take some time away from Anura. I'll talk to you. That's why you have a funnel. That's why you have a process. You have a whole bunch of stuff that shows up, and you continually clarify, qualify, create expectation. That's how
Do you ever think that, well, just because somebody's not interested right now, they may be in the future?
Oh, 98% of the people who ever reach out are never interested right now. Statistics say that 98% of the people who respond, who say I'm ready, are not ready. It's why you have to keep following up.
Because very interesting. And I don't know if these people were taught that or if they just automatically do it. Like when I was in Cusco and people walking up to you wanting to sell you something and you tell them no gracias. Or I gotten to the point where I say, no necesito, because they seem to understand that better, that you're not needing it, versus that you just saying, no, thank you. But I noticed like a lot of them would say, well, maybe later.
Yep. And that was for you, for them, not for you. That was in their mind. That was in their mind. So they never took rejection. No, I don't want that. Maybe later. So they heard, they didn't hear the no. They heard in their own mind, okay, maybe later. So they can keep going. Because if they kept hearing, if they responded to all of the no's, they'd be in a corner crying with their alpaca. So they had to come up. We have to come up with their self-talk got wired in going, okay, maybe later. Más tarde.
Yeah, but I noticed that not all were doing that, but a lot. So I was wondering if they taught that or if they do that automatically.
The ones who do it, who use it, the ones who don't already have mental toughness. The ones who don't are using it to build their mental toughness, so they don't even have to say it anymore. But no, they learn that because I'm sure there's a meeting someplace where they're all feeding their alpacas going, how do you deal with the rejection? We say, maybe later. That's a great way. Oh, I feel that. That's much easier than having to hear their no. Because remember, whoever has the last word controlled the conversation. That's why in an argument, if you want to end an argument in a not good way, you're right. The hell am I supposed to say to that? You're right. Just piss me off and the conversation's over. So they control the whole conversation. You're right. So they say maybe later. So they control the conversation. They didn't hear you say no. They said, okay, maybe later. That's self-talk. That's neuroencoding. That's self-talk.
But that's very interesting.
Well, this is understanding human nature. Not that it's not rocket science.
I guess I would have never noticed that before you.
Right.
So I'm noticing many more things, and I'm looking for things to see what other people do. I think that's
huge. That's the easiest way. Listen, we all have a master's class in humanity. Going to McDonald's or going to Starbucks or going any place. If you stand and just watch people, watch their mannerisms, watch their humanity, watch how they respond, watch how somebody responds to the barista and how the barista responds, and then how they talk to the next person. I love when there's a long line. I don't go to Starbucks. I'll go with somebody. And when they get in line, they want to talk. I'm like, this is my work right now. I'm studying human nature. So you can go look on your phone. I want to study people right now. Like, you're weird. I know. Isn't it fun?
But do you notice, like when you're standing in line and you're watching the barista, they always upsell?
Well, that's because they're trained. But the question is what is the signal of their upsell? Here's what you want to watch. When somebody upsells and they buy the upsell, they buy the biscuit or the burrito, the cupcake or whatever it is, the sandwich bar, sandwich breakfast. Watch how their energy changes with the next person. And when that person says no, watch how their energy drops back down. And they're not mentally tough. They are responsive to how people respond to them. But they'll say the words, here's the script. Would you like a basket with that? Somebody said,
Yeah,
yeah.
or would you
Ooh.
like a breakfast donut with that or
Yep.
whatever? Yes, because they always do that. So they must be taught that
Oh,
because
that's a script. Nobody wants to ever upsell. If that was the case, when somebody said, "I'll join your business," you say, "Great. Would you like the year-long package?"
would you
They
like
say,
Sean with that?
yeah,
That would be me. There's a benefit for you. I will connect you with Sean
that's right.
because they can learn something. But that's interesting. Well, yeah, we do ask them if they want the entire package or
Yep.
just, a nibble.
Yep. So
Well,
there you go.
thank you, thank you,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
I have learned a lot this morning. So
Good. I love it.
thank you.
Put it into action.
There's more people that want to learn too. So
Absolutely. Hey, Shammy. I saw you had your hand up. Maybe you had to go back.
Hola, hola,
Hey,
hola.
hola, hola.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I have to get ready to go,
Okay.
so I don't have much time. But uh, I wanted to say thank you first because, and I just wanted to mention real quick, I kind of forget about the call on Saturdays. I'm like programmed from Monday to Friday because I have to wake up early for school, so it's
Right.
easy for me to jump on around 7 to 7:30. I'll jump on and get the nuggets for the day, the golden nuggets for the day. But I usually forget about Saturday, or I wake up a little later on Saturdays, and I was gonna start doing some house chores, and I get on YouTube to listen, and you popped up, and I got on right away, and then I was like, let me go on live Zoom because I prefer it. Yeah,
I
so I
love it.
wanted to mention that, and I wanted to say thank you because last week I felt great. I felt so good through feeling shitty. It was my time of the month, and I felt like really shitty, but I still felt great through that. And one of the main reasons is because of the morning call and all the habits and things that are prioritizing. But when I jumped on the YouTube video now I was gonna do a few things before
Mhm.
leaving.
Mhm.
Um, it was amazing. You and Soka were like talking about self-sabotage and about all of that. And it just was like a lot of times I feel that as soon as I get on, I hear something that I feel like I needed or like was meant for me, or I jump on the perfect timing to hear what I need to hear. And I wanted to say thank you for that.
Well, you are welcome, and thank you for making me look smart when you listen to your best version of you. Because it's not me, it's you, right? Maybe it's because you jump on, I say a smart thing. Imagine, you'd never know if, right? I'm saying you got to take some credit for that. I love you to pieces, and when I see your signal, it always makes me smile. When I see your picture, it always makes that smile you have. I feel that in my heart. I feel like you're literally smiling to me, right? And that now, when I see you live, it's 1,000 times more. So you got to take some credit for me being good, because when you show up, I always seem to be good. So it's got to be both of us. I'm not always good when you're not here. Not putting pressure on you, not putting pressure saying I need my chamois, but I can promise you when you show up, that's how powerful signal is. So you got to say, ooh,
No.
JM3 yourself. I did some of that. Go ahead, give
Yeah.
yourself a little pat on the shoulder. There you go. I
Yeah.
love it.
I've had business wise, I've had some like really these past few weeks have been really good for me. And last week was the self-sabotaging. It was really like I had to breathe through it. I had to like really breathe through it because it was a lot. But to have ways to get through that is really great. And the challenge, I hear you when you say it's leverage. And I know I have some things to work on when it comes to that, but I have been posting more. I do it for personal reasons, but I'm really into health and fitness, and I know that's helpful for a lot of people. So I'm more focusing on posting stuff about that.
Well, and here's the
And
thing.
I'll have to hit you up privately so I can get some tips.
Okay, let's do that. Here's the thing. When you're going to go post 20 posts a day or 16 posts a day, you can't go back to the one post. I can't go back. When I look at some of the things, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I did that today. You're not worried about, did anybody like my post today? Right? I posted 6 different shorts and one of them gets 2 views. The algorithms just won't let it go out. The other ones are getting 400. Gizmo banging his head against a tree got 1,300 views. Are you kidding me? It's a ram banging his head against a tree. That's not my message. That's not my mission. But you know what? The next one I posted of Gizmo, in this, like 5 minutes later, and these are old videos that I pulled from my inventory. They're over a year old, and I just posted them.
That's what I have to do.
They were new to them, and somebody else, because it's a Gizmo, it's a ram. I don't know what it is. It got 900 views. And
yeah, at the moment for me, it feels a little easier to go through what I already have than to make something new. I'll work on making new content too.
But go through what you
have
got.
Plenty on your phone as it is. I have plenty on my phone.
When Amazon Photos, because I'm a Prime member, you have unlimited photos. I've finally decided to sync again. It said I had 15,000 photos that needed to be uploaded. Not the ones that were already in Amazon Photos. 15,000 photos on my phone that haven't been transferred to Amazon. Are you kidding me? And 2 gigabytes of videos, and it says, oh, your videos are already loaded. You want to upgrade that? No, I ain't paying for you to store my videos because I got thousands of those. So anyways, go make some
question, real.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about if I post one, like the same, you know how you can link your Instagram to Facebook and
Sure.
YouTube? If you post the same thing on all 3, that still counts as an individual one?
It would. And in the beginning, to get the numbers out, because there's a cross population. Now, maybe a lot of people are the same. That's okay. But what you'll find is that you'll get different people liking it on Instagram than this, and you'll start to identify who your audience is on each one. And if you post something that crosses over, that links to the 2 of them, in the beginning, that's okay. And if you post 2 pictures of you smiling and you get 10 likes here and you get 5 likes here, then you post something about a business and you get 20 likes here and 5 likes there, this audience is business minded. This audience is emotionally minded. So you can start to do what they call in marketing. You can start to do a split test. It's the same message with a little bits of tweaks and to see which message does better. It's the same message. One's that posted at 8 a.m. The others posted at 3 in the afternoon. Which one got more responses? In the beginning, use it as a split test that I'm going to post a picture of these pliers. On Instagram, I get 2 likes. On Facebook, I get 30 likes. Okay, so I have people who like pliers. Okay, I'll post more pliers stuff. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So it's okay. Because you'll hear all the time, don't post the same content, blah, blah, blah. No, in the beginning, post the same content everywhere and do a few days of the same content everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and see what your audience responds to. And you got to track it though. Right? If you talk about Think and Grow Rich and people on TikTok like it and people don't respond at all on Instagram, okay, these are personal development people over in your audience. So it's important to feed them till you can go build your audience. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you more.
Okay. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's another day, another dollar. I hope it was valuable. Enjoy your Saturday and the rest of your Sunday. I'm your find your mission misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura
vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us all.
Peace be with us. Hey, Diane, love you bunches. And the queen of helping you uncover your mission, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
We love you, Fee. And go have some fun today. Surprise somebody. Tell them you appreciate what they do and watch their head just go, what? Well, we didn't do anything. Love you tons. Bye for now.